Texas Tech will officially be represented in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I am RC Maxfield here for the Back to 12 podcast, reminding you for the latest Texas Tech news and rumors, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. And this is going to be one of my favorite videos that I have ever gotten to record for this channel. Why, you may ask? I hope you looked at the thumbnail, because it is a historic night for Texas Tech football, where Patrick Mahomes wins his second MVP trophy and Zach Thomas finally, it's about damn time, gets elected into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Let's start with Zach Thomas, because I don't think people realize how great this man's career was outside of Lubbock, Texas, and maybe Miami as well, right? You look at it, he was a bona fide star in the league during his time, well over 1,700 career tackles. When you look at the solo tackles, over 1,100 tackles for loss of 74. I mean, he was one of the greatest linebackers to ever play the game, and it was an atrocity just that he wasn't in the NFL Pro Football Hall of Fame yet. It took it this long to get in there, and to me, it took far too long, but he got in there, and it was awesome to see. Jimme Johnson was the one that talked him into it in terms of the speech where he was walking out of the tunnel at the NFL Honors Award show. And it was just great to see Zach Thomas finally get his flowers, because he is truly one of the greatest linebackers this game has ever seen. Obviously, people remember him for the INT return against the Aggies, but he's so much more than that when it comes down to it. He's one of the greatest players that Texas Tech has ever seen. He gives back to the Lubbock community constantly. He truly is everything that embodies what being a Red Raider truly stands for. And tonight, to see him go in and get elected finally to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, it just felt like, speaking for myself anyway, for Red Raider Nation, it almost felt like a weight was lifted off of our shoulders a little bit, where it was like, it is about damn time this guy goes into the Hall of Fame. Again, you look at what he's done in his career, and I'm just going to name the accolades here. 7-time Pro Bowler, 5-time All-Pro, a Hall of Fame All-2000s team member, right? The Pampa, Texas native is going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Before we get into Patrick Mahomes, all I want you to do is this. Like the video if you were excited that Zach Thomas finally got in to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Again, it's about damn time. It took him long enough. It wasn't his fault, obviously. It's about damn time the writers got this one right. All right. The guy that just is bearing those banners far and wide right now. From here, anything is possible, right? Or from here, it's possible, I should say. Patrick Mahomes. He wins his second MVP award in his pretty young career. He's only been a starting quarterback for 5 years and going to his third Super Bowl. He got 48 of the first place votes for the NFL MVP. He led the league in passing, and there was a lot of talk, hey, if Jalen Hurts doesn't get hurt, does he probably win it? I think Mahomes is kind of at this point, and I've talked about it with Lyle on the podcast, like, he's kind of in that LeBron territory now. And what do I mean by that? Like, realistically, you should probably give the MVP to Patrick Mahomes every year. But you're not going to do it. And it's because there's that fatigue factor where it's like, hey, who's the new hotness? It's almost like that conversation where people are like, Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes, which is just straight asinine. Just don't trust those people's takes when it comes to football. It's very clear Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL, period. And he proved it this year, right? You think about it. He loses Tyreek Hill. What was the narrative all offseason long? How is Patrick Mahomes going to survive without Tyreek Hill? What's he going to do? How is he going to improvise? Patrick Mahomes is just one of those guys that throws the ball downfield and hopes that Tyreek Hill can catch it for him. Wrong. He's the best quarterback and the best player in the NFL, right? He shuts up the haters in so many ways. He can do it on a bum ankle. He can beat you in so many ways. He's cerebral, and now he's got his second MVP going into his third Super Bowl appearance, looking for his second Super Bowl. Remember, the last time he won MVP, what did he do in the Super Bowl? He won it. So he's trying to look for the same number of MVP awards as Super Bowls, or I guess vice versa on that front. But the voting was interesting here. Patrick Mahomes, just ran away with it. 48 first-place votes, as I mentioned. Jalen Hurts did come in second. Josh Allen third. Then you had Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson fourth. Justin Jefferson was fifth. Interesting enough, sixth place, Nick Bosa. That was interesting to me. And then Trevor Lawrence ahead of Micah Parsons. That one's also interesting. But again, when you look at what Patrick Mahomes did this season, he's 14-3, 5,250 passing yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Who really cares at that in terms of he's passing the ball so much to help this team win? He's a 5-time Pro Bowler, now 2-time All-Pro, 2-time MVP. He is the best player on the planet. And when you think about this night and the gravity, and there he is flexing on all the haters for you right behind me. But when you think about this night for Texas Tech, it's almost kind of crazy because I forgot who mentioned it in my comments on Twitter. By the way, go follow me on Twitter at RCMB323. It's kind of crazy this is happening the night before the 100-year celebration of Texas Tech, right? You think about the positivity in the Texas Tech football program right now, what Joey McGuire's doing and everything like that, getting those boys ready to hopefully make a push for the Big 12 title. And now you have the most marketable player, the best player in the NFL as an alumni, a proud alumni at that. And now you are firmly represented in Canton, Ohio, right? Listen, I get people can poke fun at Texas Tech and everything like that. Tonight's not that night. You have a Hall of Fame player at your school now, and you'll have one eventually too in Patrick Mahomes. But you have Joe Thomas finally getting his flowers, and I mean finally getting his flowers and going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. One of the best linebackers of all time, Pampa, Texas' finest. And then you've got Patrick Mahomes from White House, Texas, playing in the Super Bowl this weekend, shutting up all the haters this year, and winning his second MVP and leading the Kansas City Chiefs to their third Super Bowl in his 5 years of starting. He is the best player on the planet. And now Texas Tech also is represented in Canton. Just a hell of a night to be a Red Raider and be part of Red Raider Nation right now. Just a sensational feeling watching these guys achieve what few others have before them and know that they don the scarlet and black so proudly. Just speaking as an alumni personally, it's just a great night, especially when I'm so invested in this program and really just Texas Tech athletics in general. I know everybody else feels the same way. So I'm going to end it there and let everybody celebrate. But once again, Joe Thomas finally is elected into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and Patrick Mahomes wins his second MVP award in 5 years, looking for his second Super Bowl this weekend as well. I am RC Maxfield reminding you one more time, like the video if you're excited for Joe Thomas, for him finally being elected to going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And if you haven't already, for the latest Texas Tech news and rumors, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button to stay in the know right here on the Back to 12 podcast channel.